I've been asked, how do you advance ACPA in secondary and tertiary education? I think the answer is simple. Advance ACPA members, and you advance ACPA. If there is a policy decision underway in our nation or around the world that involves the kinds of issues that ACPA advocates for and stands for, ACPA members should be involved in the development of that policy and bringing it forward and seeing it through. If there's a practice that needs to change on campus, anywhere in the world, that affects students and affects their lives, their safety, their security, their future, ACPA members should be involved in promulgating the changes to that policy and making sure it works. Advance ACPA by advancing our members. That's how it works. I've been fortunate in that I've worked in more than 85 countries in the course of my career. And what I've discovered in working in all of those places is that to be successful, you have to let the people who live in those places and work in those places and grow up in those places tell you what they need, how they need help, how they need support, and how to move forward. We can't dictate that for anybody and be successful. I feel very fortunate not only to have had for-profit experience in all of those countries, but also to have served on the United Nations UUO Commission for LGBT Human Rights, with Amnesty International, with SOGI, and in a number of areas that I think, I feel, at least, I've perhaps made the greatest contribution of my life. I hope I bring some of that understanding of ACPA. I hope you bring yours, so we can make the world a better place. Friends ask me, why do you want to move to Washington, D.C.? You've lived in Texas all of your life. Your family's been here 100 years. I actually think Washington, D.C. is one of the most exciting cities in the world, probably next to Hong Kong if I had a place to choose. I love the history there. I love the fact that there are people from all over the world working there. I love that my heroes are memorialized there. When I have a day off in D.C., I go to the Roosevelt Memorial and I stand beside Eleanor Roosevelt. And I think about the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. And for a moment, I think even someone from West Texas, someone with no real power or presence in the world, can be an Eleanor Roosevelt in the life of another person if we just care enough to take a stand and stick it out. That's what I love about Washington, D.C. It reminds me of that capacity that each one of us have.